Welcome back to another Machining Minutes video with me. I'm Ben here at Toolpath, and today we're going to be making some brackets for this guy over here. I'm going to use Toolpath to help me program, and then we're going to machine the parts here on our Brother Speedio in our shop. Stay tuned and I'll show you how we do it all. When we were at IMTS, we had a Datron CNC in our booth, and I'm not sure who started it, but somebody slapped a sticker on there, and then it just became this whole community of throwing their stickers on there, and we absolutely loved it. So Datron was kind enough to send us the entire window off their machine, and we brought it back to the shop, and it's just been sitting here. But what we need to do is we need to machine some brackets for it and get it hung up on the wall. I'm not sure where I'm gonna put it yet, but that's what we're gonna do today. All right, so here's our part, and I have it open in Fusion, and at first glance, it doesn't look too bad, but I did add a couple of features that I thought would be pretty interesting to see how Toolpath handles. Specifically, these little spikes. I did make sure to add a fillet there so that it can be machined with a bullnose end mill. But what this part is doing is it's holding the corners of our window intact, and then these little spikes go into the drywall, kind of keep it secured there, and then we've got a screw. So should be pretty simple. Let's go ahead and send our part to Toolpath, and we're going to generate automatically our setups. So I'm going to click OK, and this is all in real time. So our part's being opened now in Toolpath, and I'm going to make sure I select my correct cut config, which is my Shop Brother aluminum. And what this does is it lets Toolpath look at my part with my tool library in my shop. Okay, so this is the result that we get. We have an 83% machinability score, which means Toolpath can handle all of this with our tools except this surface here. And I can even click on the surface and see kind of what the issue might be. But if I go back to the overview tab, I see I have some tool recommendations. So I've set up Toolpath so that the tools that I have in my toolbox that aren't necessarily set up in the machine are considered recommendations. So I have this YG1 1/4 inch, looks like a bullnose with a 30 thou radius on it. So if I click add this tool recommendation, we can regenerate. And what Toolpath's gonna do now is it's going to recalculate the entire part with that tool. And now we get a 100% machinability score, which is excellent. So this whole part can now be machined in Toolpath. It's giving me my setup, so I'm gonna hold it like this for setup 1, and then flip it over, of course, for setup 2. I can even see my stock. Let's now click Export to Fusion. I'm gonna copy the key, and now what we're gonna do is we're gonna click Import our program, paste, and I am gonna include my work holding. Now this is a preview feature, but let's just click self-centering. If you guys want access to the preview feature with work holding, where it brings all of your work holding in, let us know at support@toolpath.com. So here we have our part, and wow, this is an excellent, I was not expecting it to be this good. Let's go ahead and go through some of the program here. So initially we have our large end mill doing a lot of the roughing. That's okay. Then we do some facing, that's easy. We do a profile, so we always leave about 5 thou, I think, to clean up with our finish pass. Now we do some rest machining adaptive clearing, finish the profile there. We do a floor finish with the same tool, gives us a nice blend. So we bore out that hole. Okay, this isn't bad. So it looks like we're using a scallop here. And the only thing I would probably change is my step over. I'm gonna make this like a significantly smaller amount. Let's just make it 10 thou for now. It was at 50. And I should get a much cleaner, more fine tool path. Okay, so that looks pretty good. That's using our bullnose YG1 right here. And then it's going to use the same tool for a floor finish, so we get a nice blend. It does it again, and I'm not sure if that's because it's doing the finish. We can actually check that in our presets. So now it's doing an aluminum surface. So this is actually the finish. So I'm going to change this. Let's just make it really small and see if we get something looking really nice. Okay, that's not bad. That's 25 seconds. I only need to make a couple of these. And then we do a chamfer, and wow, op one's done. It's in my vise. I have 0-point work holding set up, so that's good to go. Let's take a quick look at op 2 or setup 2. I don't love that. I think I would change that to like a 3D adaptive. When I'm taking my top hat off, I like to, come around. It's a little bit less aggressive than doing kind of this, but that would still work. And then we do a finish face pass, a rough bore, and then our chamfer there, and then our chamfer there. Man, this is excellent. I'm really happy with this. All right, so I'm gonna go grab some stock, get it loaded up in the machine. I'll bring you guys along with me, and we'll get this part machined and see how it goes. Now's the fun part where I look through our material scraps or our remnant pile and see what I can find to machine this part. Now, of course, we do order material, but I like to look here first. So this guy honestly looks pretty good. And the cool thing I can do with Toolpath and Fusion is, so over here, I see that my stock size is 3/4 by 1.5 by 1.5. And I actually just measured this with our calipers. It's actually 1 inch thick. So what I can do, this is pretty slick, is I can go back into the design workspace, and because we've exported this from Toolpath, what we've done, or what Toolpath has done, is given us all of these parametric values that we can change. So I'm gonna update this parameter from 3/4 of an inch to 1 inch. And what that's done in the background is it's created a 1 inch thick stock size. And the real magic is if we go back to manufacturer workspace, all I have to do now is regenerate these setups, and it's accounting for my new stock size thickness. I don't have to worry about re-updating any toolpaths or anything like that. I just need to cut down the stock on the saw over here, and then we'll take it over to the machine and start making chips. All the tools are set up in the machine except one, which is that bull nose. So if I open up our aluminum tool drawer, I scroll over to bull nose and then find the one right here. All right, let's see how it did. We'll pull it out and take a look at it. So here's our finished part. Overall, I'm very happy with it. I didn't make a ton of changes in Toolpath. There were some preset changes that I had to make, or I decided to make, like you saw with the step overs for the finishing on these spikes. It looks like the spikes are gonna work out the way I want it to. You know, they kind of dig in, and then that screw hole will hold it in place. Hopefully you guys have a better understanding of how cam automation is working with Toolpath, and we hope that you guys can go try it out. We've got a 14-day free trial. I'll see you in the next one.